Hey, fellas.
Plain white tees.
I can only see your neck, Ron.
That's his best feature. I'd leave it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go.
Good. I wouldn't change. There we go. Hey, how's everybody doing?
Very well. Very well.
Okay. Oops, wait, let me adjust my volume. All right.
Like the Red Wings hat.
Yeah, I'm celebrating the return of hockey. Even though the Wings aren't in, I'm still celebrating the.
I was going to say I'd go get my Pistons hat, but they're not playing. So this is just a regular hat. It doesn't say anything on it. No words.
So
no letters.
No Red Wings, no Pistons, no Tigers right now, no Lions. So what the hell? What changed? It's
right.
The same thing, man.
Hey, how about those Phoenix Suns, huh?
Hey, what about them?
What?
Oh, okay.
Devin Booker, who is the star of the Suns, or at least is getting a lot of pub these days, used to play here. He's my son's age. We played AAU ball together with him and YMCA league and all that. It's
so you're name dropping right off the bat, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this guy, I don't follow. So that means he's making some serious cash. Is he a regular contributor on the team?
He is the star of the team.
He's the star of the team.
The star of the team.
Can you imagine? What is he? Probably 20. What is his age? You think?
25. Just
the idea of that much money being plopped down into a young person's world. Right. That's not the easiest thing to deal with. Some people go broke from that.
Yeah,
they do. Yes.
Or they lose it. Yeah, they go crazy. They get in with bad people, bad management, bad. Oh yeah, it gets.
Yeah.
It gets
By the way, did our podcast start?
Yeah, are we on it? Are we rolling?
I always roll.
Oh,
man,
good. Well, then let's just like we're just rolling. We're just we're so comfortable with each other now that we're just going. So
okay,
we don't even have to introduce anybody.
No, screw it. We're all veterans of this, and I'm really interested in this kid. So.
Yeah, well, and then give them, put them in a bubble. Why don't you? All these millionaires in this bubble in Orlando, and what could possibly happen? What could
possibly go wrong?
Well, it's not, it's not as bad as baseball. Baseball is getting hammered with COVID, and so I think that there might be some method to the madness.
Right. There's only been a few reported incidents of going to the gentleman's club and having to quarantine afterwards, or going out for pizza. Oops,
Are you talking the NBA?
Yeah, the NBA bubble, or the ladies who are going, I'm going to get myself in there somehow and get me some NBA. Just groupies.
Yeah,
groupies.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Now, you said the Pistons are not in it. Is that because they did similar to hockey? They went to like a playoff format.
Yes.
Right, and they only took X number of teams, and our local teams failed to reach that lowest of low levels. They took like 20 of the 30 teams in basketball, and Pistons weren't that good enough.
Now, I talked about this on my podcast today. Have you heard the story about Tomato Larry Bird?
No.
Okay.
Is this another Facebook video?
This is really, really spectacular. What had happened was, like on a tomato, sometimes you'll have like grooves on it or dimples.
Like the Virgin Mary on the
Virgin Mary potato chip.
So someone said, okay, here's a tomato. And then fast forward to the game the other night, and Boston was playing somebody, and Jeff Van Gundy, who's a former coach, and he's the analyst, and he's hilarious. He on his monitor, he sees this tomato, and there's a face on the tomato from the tomato,
grooves,
all the imperfections, and whoever grew it actually put a hat on it, so it's hilarious. And Van Gundy goes, "What is that?" And then they put up a side by side of Larry Bird, and the tomato has all of the face. I mean, seriously, you got to see this, because Bird, in the picture that they snagged to do side by side, his mouth is drawn to one side, and the tomato is drawn. Can you see it?
I'm looking at it.
Is it not the funniest thing? Actually, that's not the one. That's a decent one, but the one that I saw it isn't superimposed on it. It's a side by side. It's so awesome. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
That's got to be one ugly tomato. I'm just saying. Larry's not attractive, man.
Well, and the thing is, they put up Bird's picture next to it, and Van Gundy sees it, and first he goes, "What is that?" And then he sees the bird. He finally gets the joke.
Wait, where'd it go?
Right,
I found it. Go ahead. I think I
got it.
You do have it?
So then Van Gundy, he sees it, and rather than laughing at it, he goes, "That's disrespectful."
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
Oh, no. And I'm thinking, oh, well, who cares? Larry Bird is one of the biggest trash talkers in the history. There it is. There it is.
Oh, my God. That looks just like
that. Is gorgeous.
Oh, my God.
Tomato Larry.
Actually, the tomato is better looking than the real Larry Bird.
I learned later on that I didn't know he was a trash talker. I didn't know that.
Oh, are you kidding me?
He was a beast. I mean,
them and the Pistons during the bad boy days, McHale, Bird, Isaiah, Lambier,
Rick
those
Mahorn,
guys,
Lambier.
They still hate each other. They absolutely hate each other to this day. And it's been, 20 years, 25 years?
And talk about a guy who never really – I mean, if you were to see that dude walking down the street, you would have no idea. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you'd think, well, there's no way that guy has any athletic ability this tall. Goof. But just a sniper and a great ball handler. I mean, ball fakes, great passing ability. He could rebound the ball somehow.
I'll give him all his credit, but Magic Johnson was still better than Larry Bird.
Well, those two. Yeah, you hear a lot of the discussions about those two. Who's better, Bird, Magic? But
it's just good to have live sports back on TV, I must say. I have been watching a lot of basketball. Gene, you've been watching some hockey, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I guess maybe the Tigers are actually going to get an opponent without COVID this weekend, I suppose.
Where are they? They're Pittsburgh, I think.
Pittsburgh.
Yes,
we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know if Pittsburgh's a hot spot or where, but I was just telling Gene before you came on, Eric, that my daughter and son-in-law are coming to stay this weekend. They were going to go to a wedding in North Dakota, but since the city of Chicago has decided that North Dakota is a hot spot, if you go there, you have to quarantine for 14 days before you can get back to Chicago. Is that the pot calling the kettle black? Is that what that is?
If you live in North Dakota, you're quarantined anyway, even if there wasn't a virus. I mean, it's North Dakota, for God's sake.
Unless you have a motorcycle, then you're going to go where this weekend?
They're not doing that, are they?
Yes, they are.
Are you kidding me? They're going to allow
hundreds of thousands of people.
250,000 people will be there.
Whoa.
The governor there is it's that hot chick, that whacked out Republican. Noam, I forgot how you say her name.
Hot chick whacked out.
She's so hot. You wouldn't believe it, man. She is such a babe. And she's one of these, whatever. Yeah, she's one of those people. So whatever. And so that's a huge if they don't do that, you're talking, tons of millions of dollars of tax revenue.
And they did that in Muskegon because they said if we don't have it sanctioned and try to manage it, they'll all just show up anyway. And what can we do about it? They can't keep motorcycles out at the border, I don't suppose. But boy, what a mess.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is.
That'll be crazy. I'd like to see what happens with that, man. That'll be fun.
Well, what's the draw? I just was starting to hear about this, and of course the bad idea that it is that all these people from all over the Midwest or wherever go there and spread their germs and then go back home and spread them there. What are they doing in Sturgis, South Dakota that's so attractive?
For I think it's 60 years, maybe 80 years now.
Forever.
They have had this motorcycle rally. And from what I know, what you do at a motorcycle rally is it's the ride to there. That's kind of an adventure. And the camaraderie, everybody gets in their stupid costumes. And they're in their vroom vroom, and and it's a lifestyle. Right. Just like we all have things that everybody makes fun of, so I make fun of them, and hopefully they're not too sensitive because they'll be by my house, but and probably beat me up or something. But they get together. There's usually concerts. You're gonna see the Molly Hatchet tribute band.
Rat tribute band.
Yeah, you see all these people get together and do their thing. with their loud pipes and
And
not
where do they all go to the bathroom? That's I don't want
Wherever they want.
on each other is what they do.
So they ride to Sturgis, they park their bikes, and they sit there and they watch other bikes ride into.
Oh yeah, you look tough.
Yeah, it's just bikes everywhere.
Yes.
Biker babes. It's probably
that's
babes.
sure.
Ouch. Yeah. So
And,
I can't believe they're having it. I can't believe they're allowing it. That isn't.
Well, now what did I hear that the Michigan athletic people have all decided they're not going to have fall sports, or are they? Or I can't keep track of what schools are doing with sports.
I heard Lansing said nope, not happening.
State.
Yeah. Well, I heard like the Lansing Public Schools
Public schools.
You're talking about high school.
Okay.
Is that sports? Yeah, I was wondering about that because
I know in Grand Rapids are still kind of on hold because we cover the KTV covers a lot of the games on Thursday and Friday nights, and they're not sure yet. They haven't heard, so they have not made a decision in Grand.
Oh wait, now but Grand Rapids Public Schools said they're not going to do in-seat classes. But they could still do sports.
All I know is there is not an official, as of, what's today? Friday, as of Wednesday afternoon, there was still no official word.
Yeah.
Now can we get anything here? Because I'll just be the first one to say this. They should not be in school. My daughter is like, no, I want to go to school. And I'm like, yeah, but there's this pandemic. So I am on the cautious side of this. So I don't like the idea that they are going back to school. What do you guys think?
Well, they're doing it up here at my neighbor is a teacher, and they just got they did a virtual meeting and they decided what they're going to do is they split all the classes in half, and half the classes in school Monday and Tuesday, and then they do virtual learning Wednesday through Friday. The other half is virtual Monday through Wednesday, and then they're in class Thursday and Friday. So they're splitting the class up, but most of it is still virtual for those who aren't in. So they're going to give it a try, I guess, and see how it works.
Yeah. It sounds like most school systems have some variation on that kind of plan, Gina. Some virtual, some in-seat, some cleaning days built in there.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm with you, Eric. I would be cautious as well. And teachers are freaking out, of course, because that's a challenge. They're more likely to have serious consequences from getting infected than children are, because our president has said children are immune, as we have heard him say. So but the adults and a lot of those kids go home to their grandparents, like Gene, and we don't want him to get sick.
Yeah, we don't want old people like Gene.
Hey. That's too late for me, man. Save yourself.
Well, and on the other side of that, why not spend a few months of being overly cautious here with the anticipation that everybody expects there to be a vaccine early? What's the latest on that? By election day? By next year? By first quarter?
Surprise. Just before election day.
Trump is. He threw that out, and I'm wondering if he was doing that tongue in cheek about.
He doesn't kid. He doesn't kid.
You know how people have said that, hey, this will all be done as soon as the election is over, because people are thinking that this is being used to try to undermine his presidency. So who knows? Maybe he was making that suggestion.
I think the intense coverage will be over. I'm one of those believers who think, anyway, going back to the teacher thing, when this first hit back in March, they were unprepared for it. So they had trouble dealing with kids being gone. They've had since then, 6 months now to prepare for virtual classrooms. So I agree. I don't think kids should go back. I think they've had the time, they have the technology. They should be doing totally virtual classrooms right now. Those who don't have internet, and up here in rural Michigan, there's a significant number. They're doing classes on flash drives and then sending those home to the kids. So
that's good.
Yeah, so those who don't have the internet can do that. But they've had time to put this together to be able to do this. So I agree. I mean, I don't think they should go back just yet. I think it's
if you had told Eric, let's just say we go back in time, and if I had at-home schooling like this, oh man, would I take advantage of that?
Absolutely.
There would be no learning. Kids nowadays are weird because the idea of not going back to school would seem like the greatest thing in the world to me.
I know.
Hated it.
Who wants to go back?
Yeah, why? I got my daughter running around here. She's like, "Oh, I just can't wait to go back to the school to
What
study."
did you
I'm like,
do to her?
"Oh,
What's the
God,
matter
what
with
did
you?"
what did you do? What a nerd! Oh man.
Well,
Yeah,
and then throw in the angle, Eric, of unsupervised children at
Oh,
home
yeah.
trying to
exactly. But
It's like-
and the converse of that, parents that are trying to work at home and deal with their kids' schooling at home,
Yeah.
or they have to go to a place of work and leave their kids with somebody else, and oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
So, look, the alternative is send them all back to school, which is the worst. So what's the lesser of two evils? I mean,
No, I agree. To wait and be safe. That's the prudent thing.
can
If
I?
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say if I'm at home alone, my mom's at work, and I'm like doing my online learning. All of a sudden, you'd hear the teacher say, "Mr. Z, where are your hands?
Eric, wake up!
Put your hands in front of you."
Oh.
Are you watching a porn site while you're supposed to be studying, young man?
Oh God. Okay, let's see. How long did it take to get there? All right.
Yeah.
So all right.
Oh, wait.
So
Go ahead.
I want to change the subject here.
Okay.
I've been sitting here looking at Eric, and I noticed his left arm has some sort of device on it.
Oh my
Is there a
gosh.
reason why? What'd you do? Did you hurt yourself?
Well, I'm trying to figure this out, and all I can come up with is, how like when you're seated at a computer and
You got carpal tunnel?
Well, I don't think it is. I thought it was at first, but I don't think it is. But the spot on your hand that rests on the table,
Yeah.
for some reason, that spot feels it just hurt. It hurts. It's inflamed badly, and so
Pull the typing muscle.
yeah, it's overuse. It's so embarrassing. So this kind of alleviates the discomfort.
Okay, so all right, just for next time, come up with a better story. I was
Oh,
wrestling
God.
a bear in the backyard or something. Not
Yeah,
typing.
yeah.
Speaking of bears, I was on vacation last week on Lake Michigan, about halfway between Ludington and Manistee. And I went down to the beach first thing one morning last week. It was a gorgeous week. The water temperature was warm and swimmable every day, and we had great temperatures and lovely spot. But I walked down there, and I'll be darned if there weren't bear tracks on the beach. I mean, There was not a dog; it was a bear, because there were claw marks that were deep,
Yeah.
And I'm like, a pretty good sized black bear was walking down the beach, just recently. I'm like, where'd that bear go? Where is he now?
Oh man, I so want to see a bear. Yeah, so you were kind of like freaked out a little bit, I guess, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, the number of black bear attacks in Michigan is like 0. Okay, it's not like I'm worried if it was
Right.
a brown bear and I was in Alaska, because grizzlies are something different. So I wasn't really worried about it charging out of the bushes at me, but I just hadn't come that close to a real live bear in the wild. That's all.
How'd you know it was a black bear?
Well, because
Yeah.
there aren't any brown
Yeah.
bears in
Come
Michigan.
on.
Well, I mean,
Gene.
it could have been.
Well, it was a polar bear, Gene.
So you were, but you are a bear aficionado, and you know the tracks. It couldn't have been.
There's only one bear in Michigan. What are you talking about?
Okay.
I'm
stand
pretty
corrected.
sure that's what
Okay.
that was. And
That was-
we've seen them down here before. There's always a picture on Facebook of somebody in, Cedar Springs saw a bear or something,
How do you know it was a black bear? And you've lived here how long?
Okay? I will next week. If there isn't it, we will discuss this further once I do some research. But it could have
There
been
is, okay.
several different animals. A large wolf, maybe. I mean, I'm just not sure.
What? How can you confuse a bear paw print to a wolf?
It's Ron.
There
It's
are-
Ron. Need I say more? Come on, it's Ron.
I wanted to take a picture, but I didn't bring my camera down,
there's
my
no
phone down to
proof.
the beach.
Yeah, next time you go back up and get it. It's just so we can, have the proof.
Right?
So Bigfoot's on Lake Michigan beaches now, huh?
That could have been. It
We
could have been a
found
Bigfoot
Bigfoot.
sighting, I suppose. You're right about that. But
So go.
I was going to bring up the Beirut explosion.
Oh my God. I've seen that video 100 times now. It looked like an atomic bomb.
Yeah. I'm like,
like an
how,
atomic bomb.
when I saw that, I was like, well, there goes Lebanon. Everyone's dead. And it's a miracle. 150 people were dead.
Is that 150 now?
155,000 injured.
And they're still going to find more around ground zero because it was leveled. I mean,
Yeah.
leveled.
Ron, did you see the footage?
I did. And what's the trigger here? Ammonium nitrate? Was that what they were storing? That was the fuel for this thing?
Tons of it.
2,750 tons.
Okay, so by comparison, Tim McVeigh, who blew up the federal building, had about 450 pounds of it.
Exactly.
That's why
it looked like
leveled city blocks.
Yeah. So,
what were they doing with it? What did they saving it for?
So here, did you read it? Because the timeline that I saw, and I forget the country of origin, but it was.
I think it was. I think it was Ukraine. Or
no, it was one of the Middle Eastern countries. It was on this ship, cargo ship, and they were having trouble, technical engine trouble. So they docked in the port there. And this was back in 2016. And they docked in the port, and rather than fixing the ship, the country just said, screw it, and walked away from it and left it there. Just abandoned it and said, we're not using it. This is the story I read. Yep. And so they basically took all this 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate off and stored it in that building and then left it and didn't move it. And there were repeated warnings about storing it there from, the port authorities and everyone, but the government just didn't do anything about it. And then boom.
Yeah, I'm not sure if because a fire had to have started.
Right.
So I don't know, what was the spark that caused
the original.
So to speak,
I thought they said it was construction workers.
So I mean, can you imagine if you know it's there, if you know that like not far from wherever this fire is before the big explosion has happened, that you are right near this and you're aware of what's going to happen, how quickly you run out of there. And knowing that even if you make it a mile, you're still in deep doo-doo.
Right.
Yeah. How far was that woman from the BBC reporter or whatever that had the one recording? How far was she away from it? Was it a mile or less? You remember seeing that footage?
I don't know the distance. I just know that a lot of them were quite far away, and then they would like zoom in, and then you would see it, and then you'd hear it a couple seconds later because the sound had to catch up to what you saw, which is always incredible how that is. How sound's just a little bit slow. Right. You'll like see it, and then 1, 2, 3, kablamo, and the shockwave hits you. Oh.
And
speed of sound, speed of light.
So one guy was on the other side of the bay.
Yeah.
He was in his car taking the video of it. And then he saw the explosion, and then you could see the shockwave coming. And I think it literally rolled his car over on his side.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was incredible.
And then all of a sudden, it's like all over the place, and his mirror's just dangling there, and there's like dust and smoke.
Now, that place is an S-hole because of the government. The government there has been like really, really corrupt for a long, long time. And there's like this rich super class of people, and everybody else has just been fed up with it, how they've been mismanaging the country. So what this is turning out to be is the spark that could lead to like kind of a revolution, because the people there have just had it. They had it before this. So now they're talking about mismanagement led to the issue and all this stuff. So not one person in the government has like surveyed the area. Like whenever there's a tragedy or like tornado or something in the U.S., you go over it and the
governor flies over.
Flies for the post.
Survey the damage. And nothing. Nobody's done anything because they're afraid they're going to get killed.
Right.
So, it's a mess there. Don't travel there.
No, that's on the banned list. And I don't know how they're doing with their COVID testing and treatment there in Lebanon, but I would just say let's stay close to home instead.
Yeah. So fellas, I am traveling. This is recorded on Friday, the 7th of August. I am traveling to a COVID hotspot tomorrow.
Oh, you're going down to your dad's again? Florida?
Los Angeles.
Oh my God. Where do you go? Work or?
Well, kind of. It's no, it's not work related. I don't even know if I've even talked with you about this, but I'm trying to donate a kidney Had I told you about that?
No. Wow. Cool. Somebody
Yeah.
wants your kidney?
You're trying to?
Yeah, I'm trying to give one away. I have a friend who I've been reacquainted with from high school. And in the discussion, he said, I'm dying. And I go, well, you're dying? What are you talking about? He says, I have stage 5 kidney disease. All my kidneys are shot. I'm on dialysis every day.
Okay.
My wife and kids we're just, and he's telling me this story. And I go, oh my God, wow, that's incredible. And I hang up. I look at Diane and I go, hey, if you had a person you're getting reacquainted with, you went to high school with them, and you find out that person's going to die, would you give a kidney? She goes, oh, yeah, absolutely. I go, really? She goes, yeah. I go, well, hey. So I get her up to speed, and she goes, well, let's donate our kidneys. I go, are you kidding me? You want to? And she goes, yeah. So I reach out to this dude. I go, hey, I got an idea. What is it? I go, my wife and I want to donate kidneys. And he's like, whoa, he starts to weep. It's like uncontrollable. He's sobbing. He goes, that's a hard ask. I don't know, man. I go, no, seriously, we want to do this. So it was like 3 months ago. We immediately that night, we applied to the UCLA Kidney and Pancreatic Transplant Organization. They got back with us that week, and we started the antigen testing, and they determined that though we're both matches, I'm a better match.
Of course you are.
So my wife has 3 of the 12 antigens. I have 6.
Cool.
So they go, okay, so here we go. And I started this process. And this coming week is a big week because it's a lot of really invasive. They give you the mother of all physicals, chest x-ray, stress test administration for your heart and lungs. Oh,
you just don't even sit it.
CAT scan, all this stuff. So, and then they even do psychological testing. They interview me to make sure I'm not getting paid, because if you it's like that's a big no-no. Wow. So, once we get past this, then we go to the next step. So this is one of many, many hurdles to get over. So this week is the week I fly in there, land. I got my N95 mask, go to my hotel, and spend the week podcasting and getting tested.
That is insane.
Cool.
So this is going, it's for your friend, right?
Yes.
So you're a match for him enough so that it should work.
Yes. I mean, if we had a crystal ball and everything was perfect, yes, it would be. But there's all sorts of things that can get it off track. So It's a very rigorous process, and this is yet another step along that road.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to Los Angeles because that's where he is. Did I miss that? You say that?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
He is all happen there. Not You wouldn't be delivering your kidney here and having it transported there or anything.
No, if it does go down, you go there. They do a laparoscopic procedure where yank it out of you. You're there for a day and a half in the hospital. Yep, that's it. So the incision's this big.
No way.
Not a big deal.
Everything's like that now.
Not a big deal.
Squeeze your kidney out of that little tiny incision.
Yep. It's kind of like if you were to open up a pack of hot dogs, okay, and you only open up the package like a quarter of an inch, and then you push a hot dog through. That's my kidney.
Your hot dog of a kidney. All right.
Yeah. So after they get it out,
let me have that visual. Okay, go ahead.
You got it. And then they put it in him. He has to stay in the hospital for like weeks as they all these anti-rejection drugs and try to get the thing functioning, but it might change his life. I mean, it's rough for him right now.
Good for you, Eric.
Thank you.
Think that's fantastic. That's
I am
so
impressed.
I know. I don't know if I could do that. I really don't.
You know what? I'm just trying not to pay attention to anything that I know puts me in the other direction.
Yes.
I try not to think too much about it. I just look at it as get in there, get it done, get home, sit here, recover, and that's it. And
so
just fine.
If all is well and this goes through, when is the actual extraction? About when?
I would guess we're at least 6 months away from that.
Well, if your friend has stage 5, how much longer? I mean, that can't be good.
Well, no, it isn't. Now. It isn't. It is. It's very difficult on him. That's why it's like, but you cannot.
Can't rush it.
There's nothing to be fast tracked. There is absolutely zero corners to cut. when it comes to transplant procedures.
Yeah, I bet if they do the transplant, because they have to remove both. Has he got both of his kidneys yet, or does one?
Yeah, he does, but I don't
They
know
said
how
that
that works.
They
I
must have to take both of the bad ones out and put
Yeah, you
yours
have-
in.
You have to take them out and eat them.
Yes.
Well, you
that's
fry
what
them in a
we
little
do.
oil with some butter, onions.
Now we can have that muskrat guy will eat it. I bet that
You mean the groundhog?
groundhog
Or whatever.
Chunk.
Yeah.
Chuck.
Chunk eats human kidney.
Feed him the kidney.
Oh,
Right.
Chuck and kidney pie.
Well, and
Yeah.
but back to once he gets your kidney, it better work or else. I mean, he's toast if it
No,
doesn't.
Yeah.
well, I mean, push come to shove, you reject it, he's back on the list and back hope. See, a lot of times with living kidney donation or people who are waiting, they have to recruit people on their own, and he didn't recruit anybody. It just
There's
was
a conversation that happened, and you went for
it was offered to him, and so, but it is that does happen quite a bit. So he's had this is the 8th time he's been through this, where he's been down the road.
Oh wow!
And it's been like crushing to him.
You just think you have a match and then it doesn't happen 8 times.
Yeah, he even had one person on the last one who got to the point that I'm at right now, and the super physical revealed that the person who wanted to donate the kidney actually had cancer on his kidneys.
No, oh gosh,
But it was stage 1, and they zapped
found
it
in
off,
time.
and he lived, and so he's out. He doesn't get the kidney, but the guy, his life was
Because of him.
Yeah, I mean, think
Wow.
about that.
That's how deep does it go, man? Down the rabbit hole. That is awesome, though.
But I got nothing but positive vibes on this, man. I'm strong as hell, and I've never felt better. So I can't wait to get this thing out of me and put it in this dude. And
So will we
I'll
be
pray for you?
Are we going to
Thank
try
you.
doing this from LA next week, or you
There's
want
no.
to just wait?
We can absolutely do it from LA.
Oh,
Cool.
I think that'll be awesome.
Yeah,
Speaking of Los Angeles, you want to do some show business news?
Oh, please.
Since we're not talking movies, I would change the subject.
Yeah.
First of all, a couple movies streaming this week. New An American Pickle. I don't know if you've heard of this movie. Seth Rogen stars on an update of the Rip Van Winkle story. He plays a man in 1919 who works at a pickle factory and falls into a vat of pickle brine, and he's pickled for like 100 years, and he comes back to life in modern day, and it's your pickle out of water kind of comedy. I
think a lot of Brian comedy.
This is Seth Rogen, you said?
Seth Rogen stars.
Okay.
And he plays,
that makes total
he plays
sense.
himself from the old days and like his his grandson in modern times. So he's got a dual role.
So,
I think that sounds very funny.
Well, I mean, when you have the creative life of that guy, and he probably is aided by various marijuana products, edible or smoked or whatever the hell. I mean, this is what you get when you mix those things: creativity and a little bit of drugs, and you're gonna come up with movies like this. So
That's
I mean,
right.
what the hell,
Right. And the other one that that caught my eye is Yes, God, Yes. Story of a young woman who, coming of age story, grows up Catholic, gets into a online chat situation that gets a little risque, and she discovers masturbation and feels very guilty about this. And it follows her story as she comes into adulthood. So I just love masturbation movies.
Hence the title, right?
Yes.
Wait a minute.
God. Yeah.
Is it yes? Is it yes, God, yes? Like I'm saying yes to this, or yes?
It's like, yes, I'm having an orgasm.
Oh, okay.
God's
I
name.
thought you were going to say this is one of those West Michigan religious flicks or something like that.
Like Paul Schrader's Hardcore, you mean?
Right. Oh, my God.
I just thought this sounded funny. Those two, the Pickle movies on HBO Max. Yes, God, Yes is on Amazon. So if you're doing nothing this weekend, you can check those out.
Yeah. All right. Did
The
you
other
see
news-
the? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, the other news was that once again, Christopher Nolan's new movie Tenet is now set for Labor Day weekend, September 3. It comes out. Once again, thinking the theaters are going to be open by the end of August this time. They've said that about the end of June and then the end of July, and now they're hoping for August. And Disney, who had another tentpole picture that was about to come out, Mulan, in March, has now decided to put it on pay video on demand, Disney Plus. They are not going to release it to theaters in the U.S. Other than select cities. And they're also going to open it in China, which doesn't have Disney Plus available to the Chinese people. So one big tentpole movie, $30, you can own the new Milan movie starting September 4 in a pay video on demand.
Ron, what about, do you think that theaters should be open right now?
Well, listen, I've said all along, like restaurants, and I was in a packed restaurant just last night. It was my anniversary, 26th anniversary. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
To my wife, Chris. They were every other table. The servers are wearing masks. All of that was happening pretty much as prescribed for opening your restaurant. Well, theaters can do that very easily. I guess the only difference is you're together in a sort of a closed room for a couple hours, not just maybe an hour, but there's ventilation, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
You could open theaters safely, I believe, with limited capacity. So
we're well past the adaptation, and as conservative as you and I have been about our approach on this, of course, we've got wacky Gene over there, but as conservative as you and I on the correct side of this, you and I are on the same page. Gene, he just wants it all open anyway.
No, I never said that. Stop! You're putting words in my mouth.
He thinks he's immune because he lives in Macomb County.
Did you ever notice how he is like? He's up here. We got it made up here.
Well, we do, but I'm not going to say anything. But
right.
You're putting words, taking everything out of context.
The bathing beauty. You have a bathing beauty behind you.
Hello, Peter. Hello. Oh, he goes, out you go.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
It's getting ugly.
All right, and one more note, and I'm not going to let Gene spout his.
I'm not. I don't want to.
We don't want to hear your
My last bit of entertainment news: the Celebration Cinema theaters in Lansing and North Grand Rapids have decided to use their parking lots for a pop-up drive-in. They're stacking those big shipping crate things up on top of each other, and so they got a big screen out in the parking lot and a video projector, and they do radio sound like the Getty Drive-In's done for years, where you tune in a frequency on your radio to get the sound from the thing. And so starting tonight, they're playing Black Panther at Celebration North for the week every night at dusk, and then they're doing the same in Lansing starting tomorrow night. So the pop-up drive-in is the answer, apparently, to while we wait for indoor theaters to open. Go sit in the parking lot. You can socially distance that way.
Did you see that there's? I was just watching something online about movies that are being made right now that they hope to be able to finish up. Did you see? There's like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Have you been following this at all?
No.
It looks like such a dumpster fire. I mean, really bad. I'm like, who watches these? Mortal Kombat is another thing that they're to have this whole franchise of films. It's like, who sees these stupid movies?
Well, the video gaming business is so huge, but the translation from video game to big screen successful movie just has not worked. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog was pretty successful before we shut down, but very few of those ever work on the big screen.
Now I got a little bit of news here that I'd like to wrap up with. Gene, this might be something that you don't really have a shared experience, but Ron and I do. And so, Ron, I wanted to bring this up, and then, Gene, I'll get you caught up. What I have here is the audience found out about this some time ago. The guy that I was at odds with, Ben, reached out to me. And we have reconciled, and we actually did a podcast together. So we're on the same page, man. How about that?
Yes.
Is this one of your former radio?
Yes, Ben and I, and on BBL Cumulus, we were together, and then after we both got fired, things got off the rails. Long story short, we were like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And it was ugly, but then he reached out to me. He apologized. I apologized to him. I had him over. We did a podcast, and we're thinking about doing our own podcast together.
Fantastic.
So like what? We're going to be chopped liver now? We're this.
We'll
find room for you guys.
There's always room for more podcasting.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Well,
all
listen.
I say is with Ben, be careful, okay? Because if he reached out, next call is going to be, you know what, Eric, I need a kidney. So he's looking to befriend you once again because he knows you're giving him away.
Listen, you know what? A quick story, because when I met Ben the first time, he was, I guess, the producer and the phone guy for Eric.
Right.
And he used to come down and let me up to the 4th floor when I was coming up to talk movies with you guys.
Yes.
And I could barely get a word out of the guy. He's in the elevator, he was just very reserved. And then he went on the air with you when there was an opening there, and Eric, you helped him speak words and become somewhat.
Speak words.
Well, and then there was the time where I don't know if it was your idea or your bit, or we're going to do a contest, and the loser, I think it was, has to go do stand-up comedy, right? And
Yes.
Ben lost or won, I don't remember, but he went and tried the stand-up comedy thing, and now he's doing stand-up comedy,
Yep.
right? You turned him
Look at
into
you.
a star, right?
No, I take no credit for that. He's always been driven, and he's extremely professional, and so we'll see where this takes us. But radio has kind of been on this, like, they're not really hiring in radio, so it's been very difficult for him. So I bring him in here, and we'll do a podcast.
Oh,
And
I'll watch.
I'll watch that too. Okay, well, that's a good way to wrap it up, unless we want Gene to have his 1 minute of.
Do you want to? Yeah. How about here we go?
Well,
1 minute of alt-right with Gene.
I don't need a whole minute. I only need 20 seconds because I just checked the numbers, and you guys are correct. We have had our 40th case of COVID up here in Mecosta County.
40.
Yeah, so I can't. You guys are right. I'm locking.
It's a hot
the doors,
spot.
Turning out the lights, locking the doors.
All right.
Wearing the
Yeah.
mask.
Somebody's banging on my window. I gotta let him in. I'm coming. I'll be right there. All right.
Good luck.
All right.
Good luck in LA, Eric. I can't
Thank
wait
you.
to hear the story next week.
Absolutely. Good
All right,
work,
guys. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.